Hi students. So we will discuss in this session Unit 3 about the memory system, the fundamental concepts. So one of the main functional part of a computer system is a memory system. So the memory system will holds the data. So whatever the data we enter into the system, so the memory system is going to hold or organize the data in a systematic way. So how the memory system, what are different types of memories, how the memory system will works, and all the points we will see here. Before going for that, we will see some fundamental concepts or some basic concepts. What is the maximum size of the main memory? Here main memory means, so the memory which will stores the data during the execution or temporarily, that will be named as a main memory. What is meant by byte addressable? And we will see here the CPU and main memory connections. So this is the processor. Within the processor already we have discussed that we have two registers here. One is memory address register, another one is memory data register. So here whenever you use this one, a k-bit address bus will be used. So here whenever you use the k-bit address bus, so up to 2 power k addressable locations are there. Suppose a 4-bit address bus cable if you use, so that is up to 2 power 4. 2 power 4 means 16. So like that NBR, an n-bit data bus. So here also how many bits you are going to be used. So based on that one, so up to 2 power k addressable locations will be there, and the word length also will be n bits. So this is a bidirectional. The data can be transmitted from main memory to memory data register or memory data register to main memory. Here the memory address register to main memory. So the control line will be like this. Here we can perform read operation, write operation, memory function complete, etc. So like this they will establish a connection between the CPU and main memory. So the measures for speed of the memory. What are the measures we will take for identifying, for knowing the speed of a memory? One is a memory access time and the second one is a memory cycle time. So we will see these 2 points later. An important design issue is to provide a computer system with a large as fast as memory as possible within the given cost target. So whenever you are creating a system or whenever you are designing a system, the main target is to, or the main important design issue is provide a computer system with as large and fast memory. So the capacity of the memory should be large as well as fast memory as possible, and it will be in a reasonable or reliable cost. So to speed up these things, several techniques to increase the effective size and speed of the memory. So why they are saying this one means, so whenever you take the memories, main memory and secondary memory, these two memories will have some variation of speed. So whenever we have some variation of speed here means at that time the fastness is going to be decreased. To increase this one, so to increase the speed, so they will use one memory that is called as a cache memory. So that means our target is to increase the speed and size of the memory. So for those purposes they have introduced this two memories. One is called as a cache memory and the second one is called as a virtual memory. With the help of these two memories, they will increase the speed and size of the memory. Here, first topic we are going to be see about the semiconductor memories. So, in the memory system, first we will see here internal organization of memory chips. Each memory cell can hold one bit of information. Already we know that one cell will hold one bit of information. Suppose an 8 bits can be taken with 8 cells, that is 1 byte. Memory cells are organized in the form of an array. So like a rows and columns. So we will use we will organize the memory. So that's why they says that memory cells are organized in the form of an array type. That means it consists of rows and columns. One row is one word, memory word. So whenever you consider in the array, one complete row is considered as one memory word. All cells of a row are connected to one common line known as a word line. So whenever you say this one, so the one row is considered as one word in a memory, and all the rows connected to one common line. So that line is known as a word line. Word line is connected to the address decoder. So we have an address decoder. To that address decoder, the word line is connected. Sense or write circuits are connected to the data input output lines on the memory chip. So here sense, that means read or write circuits are connected to the data input output lines on the memory chip. Here see the diagram, internal organization of memory. They say that the rows are connected. So that means these are the words like this. Word. This, for example, if you consider here, this is a word and this is a word and this is a word. Here also word 1, so word 2, like that we are having. So that means already they have said that the cells are organized in the fashion of an array, rows and columns. All the words are connected to one common line. That line is called as a bit line. See the first one, all these words have been connected to one common line. All these are called as a memory cells. So that will consist of the sense read and write circuit operation, read and write operation. So this will be called as a word line 1, word line 2, word line 3, 4, like that. Finally this has been connected to an address decoder. With this address decoder we are performing that one. Static RAM cell. Here see the diagram has been represented. So how it is going to be performed? Two transistor inverters are across connected to implement a basic flip-flop. Two transistor connectors are implemented. Transistor inverters are cross connected. Those two are cross connected to implement a basic flip-flop. The cell is connected to one word line and two bit lines by the transistors T1 and T2. One word line we are having and two bit lines B and B dash we have here. So this is a bit line because of all the cells will be connected to a common line. This line is called as a bit line and this is also bit line. So the row, all the row line is connected as a, is represented as a word line. So bit, one word line and two bit lines by a transistors T1 and T2. Here two transistors they are using. The two transistors are T1 and T2. When a word line is at ground level, the word line is at ground level, in this level, the transistors are turned off and the latch retains its state. So whenever it is in the ground level, the transistors are turned off and the latch retains its read operation. In order to read the state of a static RAM cell, the word line is activated, close switches T1 and T2, sense read or write circuits at the bottom monitor the state of B and B dash. So whenever a read operation wants to perform, so at that time the word line is activated to close switches T1 and T2. For this T1 and T2 sense read or write. So circuits at the bottom monitor the state of B and B dash. So within this one, another one, asynchronous DRAMs. So whenever you go for asynchronous DRAMs, the first one is static RAMs, SRAMs, consist of circuits that are capable of retaining their state as long as the power is applied. So whenever in the static RAM, SRAMs, so consist of the circuits that are capable of retaining their state as long as the power is applied. So that means we says that if the power is there, the state of that one will retain same. So the data will be there. If the power is lost, automatically the data is going to be lost. This is called as a volatile memories because their contents are lost when power is interrupted. Access time of static RAM are in the range of few nanoseconds. The access time of these static RAMs are in the range of few nanoseconds. However, the cost of this RAM is usually high. And also we say already we discussed that the size also will be less and the cost is also high of this one. The dynamic RAM does not retain their state indefinitely. So whenever we compare, this is also a RAM but not static. It is dynamically going to be append. So it doesn't retain their state indefinitely. So whenever you compare this point with the SRAM, until the power is there, it is retaining their state. But here, so it is not retaining their state indefinitely for some period of time only. So it is going to be accessed. So whenever you go for this one, contents must be periodically refreshed. The contents of this one or periodically is going to be refreshed. Whenever it is periodically refreshing the contents means automatically the speed of the memory is going to be increased because of the load of the data is going to be reduced. Automatically the speed is going to be increased. Contents may be refreshed while accessing them for reading. So the contents may be refreshed while accessing them for reading. Whenever you are trying to read that one, automatically the contents of that one are going to be refreshed. Here see asynchronous DRAM. So how they have been taken? Here they have been taken an array of 512 into 8. So that means 512 bytes. Each row consists of 512 bytes and each byte means 8 bits. 5 into 12. So that means 4 into 96 cell array they have been taken. So here two signals they are taking, row address signal and column address signal. So whenever they taken a row address signal as an input, the row decoder will perform and it is going to be stored here. So whenever you go for this one column address, the column address decoder, so that means through column address signal, so it is going to be apply for column address latch and it is going for column decoder. So like this it is happening and the asynchronous RAM is going to be constructed in this fashion. Two signals we are applying. See here each row can store a 512 bytes and 12 bits to select a row and 9 bits to select a group of 9 bits to select a group in a row. Total size is 22 bits they are using here. And first apply the row address. We want to apply the first row address. RAS signal latches the row address, then apply the column address signal latches the address. So whenever you are applying this one using this bit row and column addresses, first you want to apply the row address. So that's why they are saying that first apply the row address. RAS row address signal latches the row address, then apply the column address. The because of if you want to identify any element in an array means definitely you want to apply the row and column. So based on that one only, so we will identify the element or we can retrieve the element, then apply column address CAS signal latches. Timing of the memory unit is controlled by a special unit which generates RAS and CAS. So the timing of the main memory unit or memory unit is controlled by a specialized unit. So that specialized unit which generates the RAS and CAS, this is called as a asynchronous RAM. The construction of asynchronous RAM will happen in this fashion. Here one more one, fast page mode. Suppose if we want to access the consecutive bytes in the selected row, this can be done without having to reselect the row again. So whenever you want to select all the elements of one row, so whenever you want to get that one means every time there is no need to reselect that particular row. Suppose if I am taking an elements from a second row, every time you will write 2 1 2 2 2 3 2 4 like that. So instead of every time selecting the two value, because of two value is a common, I am changing column address 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 like that. So for that purpose, what they will do means add a latch at the output of the sense circuits in each row. In each row, we will add a latch output of the sense circuit in each row. All the latches are loaded when the row is selected. So when you select a particular row, all the latches are selected, loaded when the row is selected. Different column address may be applied to select the place of different bytes on the data lines. So here, so row is a common one. So different column address, previous I described 2 1. So 2 is common, 2 2. Here also 2 common. So like that, different column addresses are applied to select and place different bytes on the data lines. Consecutive sequence of column address can be applied under a control signal CAS without reselecting the row. Here we can apply the consecutive sequence of column address can be applied under the control signal CAS without reselecting the row. Allows the block of data to be transferred at a much faster rate than the random access. So it will allow us to transfer a block of data to be transferred at a much faster rate random access. So, a small collection or a group of bytes usually referred to as a block. So here a small collection or group of bytes is usually referred to as a block. This transfer capability is referred as to a fast mode feature. This is called as a fast mode feature. Here same synchronous RAM. Here also the same operation. Operation is directly synchronized with a processor clock signal. The outputs of the sense circuits are connected to a latch. During a read operation, the contents of the cells in a row are loaded onto the latches. During a refresh operation, the contents of the cells are refreshed without changing the contents of latches. Data held in latches correspond to the selected columns or transferred to the output. For a burst mode of operation, successive columns are selected using a column address, counter and clock. CAS signal need not be generated externally. A new data is placed during raising edge of a clock. Here see, this is cell of array. So here column, row address both are going to be applied here. This is a row address. So every time it is going to be refresh that one column address. Then it is transmitting for row decoder and column decoder. So based on that one, data input register and data output register. So in this fashion it is happening. So the latency and bandwidth of DD or SDR RAMs. Memory latency is the time it takes to transfer a word of data to or from memory. See, the latency time is the time it takes to transfer a word of data or to or either to memory or from memory. And that is called as a latency. Memory bandwidth is the number of bits or bytes that can be transferred in 1 second. So here whenever you go for this one, what is meant by a bandwidth? Bandwidth is nothing but of number of bits or bytes that you can be transferred in 1 second is called as a bandwidth.